Alright, so this is special right triangle notes. The first special right triangle I'm going to teach y'all is the 45, 45, 90 special right triangle. This triangle, you have 45 degrees inside, 45 degrees inside, then 90 degrees inside. We call it a 45, 45, 90 triangle based on its angles. And the legs of a 45, 45, 90 triangles are always congruent. Yeah, it's cute. There's a relationship between the two legs of this triangle and the hypotenuse. That if we know that relationship, no matter what numbers they give us, we can always find the missing pieces because we know the relationship between the legs and the hypotenuse. I'm going to teach you about that relationship really quickly. Let me identify though. These two sides right here, across from the 45 degrees, these are my two legs. Y'all should know that this longest side right here is the hypotenuse. Y'all should know that already. That's just general information that y'all should already know. My two legs on here are congruent though, which makes this isosceles triangle, which y'all should already know as well. Right. So let's talk about the relationship. So if I'm trying to find, say I'm missing one of my legs, either one of them, and I'm going to highlight both of these for you. If I'm missing either one of my legs, and they give me the hypotenuse to find the leg, a leg would equal whatever my hypotenuse is. So my hypotenuse, whatever my hypotenuse is, divided by the square root of 2. If I'm looking for one of my legs and they give me the hypotenuse, I'll take my hypotenuse, divide that by square root of 2, and that will tell me what my leg equals. And vice versa. Say I'm looking for my hypotenuse. If I want to find my hypotenuse and they give me one of my legs on this 45, 45, 90 triangle, I'm going to take my leg, whatever they give me, that value, I'm going to multiply that times square root of 2. Let me pause for a second because I didn't say this. I know y'all see me doing it, and you can too. I meant to say something beforehand. If you want to highlight on your stuff, if you have highlighters with that color, you can. I don't know how color code. That's only, most of y'all barely be having a pencil though, so that's for the people who come prepared. If you want to do like I'm doing, color code your stuff, you can. Alright. So down here it says find the value of each missing variable. First you want to identify your triangles, but obviously based on the fact that we just talked about 45, 45, 90, you should know all these triangles are 45, 45, 90. So number one, just knowing that this is 45 degrees here, this is 90 degrees here, I know this is 45 degrees here. So it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. They want me to find X, and then they want me to find Y on this triangle. Let's see if you've been paying attention. I want to. Some of this stuff is easy. It's not trying to trick you or anything. So I just want to see if you were paying attention, honestly. Just say Savion. What do you think the value of X is?
8.
Oh, good. Why is it 8? Thank you. The legs are congruent, so don't sit there and get stuck on X. X is equal to 8. That's easy. Then you gotta figure out the value of Y. Savion, what will Y be? Hmm? Yeah. So he said a leg times square root 2. One of my legs is 8. So I'm going to multiply that times square root of 2. I don't want any decimals. I'm going to tell y'all this. We didn't say it up top. We're putting everything in simplest radical form. We're not giving any decimals unless they ask us. If they don't ask you, keep stuff in simplest radical form. So what's 8 times square root 2, Jasavian? I'm not tricking. Huh? You can't. You don't want to give me a decimal anyway. So, yeah, it's just 8 radical 2. 8 radical 2. And the best way I could tell my kids last year to treat these radicals right now like they're variables. Like, for example, and I'm sure y'all would know what to do. Above here, if I had 8 times y, what would y'all tell me 8 times y equals? 8y. Treat the radicals the same way. Alright, so this 8 square root 2. Moving on. Number 2, Zach wants to find x and y. This is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Zach, what's the value of x? $25 radical 2. Thank you. What's y? Just 25. Some of them will be this easy. Now, sometimes we're going to ask you something like about to ask you on number 3. And you're going to have to do a little bit more work, but it's not hard. I'm probably about to show y'all some of y'all something new. Shouldn't be new because you should have learned it in algebra, but we all know how that goes. And we all know how algebra went for most of y'all last year, so I'm probably about to teach it to you for the first time. But that's okay. That's what I'm here for. Number 3. This is another 45, 45, 90 triangle. They want me to find x and y. Devin, both x and y, what are they on the triangle? Not the value, what are they, like specifically? Yeah, what part of the triangles are the right triangles are they? Don't let this take too long, but what part of this right triangle are x and y? Legs. They're the legs, thank you. What should you know about the legs on this 45, 45, 90 triangle? The legs are always congruent. So I know whatever these values are, they're both going to be the same. So I really need to only find one, and I'm going to know the other one off the bat. If you look up top, how do we find a leg in a 45, 45, 90 triangle if we're given the hypotenuse?
Given the hypotenuse, it's the hypotenuse divided by the square root.
Yeah. So whatever, and up here my kids always got confused last year on which one to read. Whatever you're looking for that's what you want to do. So if I'm looking for a leg equals hypotenuse divided by square root 2. So since I'm looking for a leg, I want to do this, hypotenuse divided by square root 2. So down here, this is what I'm going to do, 19, and come over a little bit because we're going to need a little space, divided by square root 2. Alright? Now, there's only one issue with this. Unlike when we're multiplying, since we're dividing, when we're dividing, and when you divide anything, we have a fraction. You cannot have a square root in the bottom of a fraction. Okay? You cannot keep that like that. This is not in simplest form, and it's not right. You cannot keep this way. You have to simplify this fraction. And you have to do what we call rationalization. You have to rationalize this fraction. You can't have a square root in the bottom of your fraction. If you get that as an answer, it'll always be wrong. But rationalizing this is not a hard thing to do. What's up? Oh, you know how to rationalize? To rationalize, all we're trying to do is get the square root off the bottom and write this in simplest form. To rationalize any fraction, all you got to do is multiply the fraction times 1. But the one that you multiply by is going to be something to help you get the square root off the bottom of the fraction. So 1 could look a lot of different ways, though. I want you to understand that. I'm saying multiply this by 1 to get the square root off the bottom. 1 can look a lot of different ways. Let me go up top and show you what I mean. To show you the different ways 1 can look. 1 can just be the whole number 1, but 1 can be other things too. For example, 1 can be 3 divided by 3. You agree that 3 divided by 3, that's 1, right? 10 divided by 10, that's 1. 1 can also look like this. Square root of 2 divided by square root of 2. That's 1. So what I want to do in this situation to help me get my radical off the bottom of this fraction down here, 19 over square root of 2, I want to use this 1. Because it has square root of 2 and square root of 2 in it, which I already have down here. That's going to help me get the square root off the bottom of this fraction. Alright, so I'm going to multiply this fraction times 1, but the 1 is going to look like this. Square root of 2 over square root of 2. You're only just using that number that you have down here anyway. You're just going to make it it over itself and make it 1. Alright, doing that, we're multiplying straight across. On top, let me change. On top you get 19 square root 2. On the bottom, square root of 2 times square root of 2 is what? You can multiply those together. What's 2 times 2? Yeah, 4. So you get square root of 4 on the bottom. That's what you want to happen anyway, and that's why you're doing this. Because on the bottom, when you multiply these two square roots together, you're going to get a number under the square root that you can take the square root of. So you can get the radical sign off the bottom. So cleaning this up, on top I'm going to have 19 square root 2. And on the bottom, I'm going to have square root of 4, which is 2. Now, huh? I didn't hear what you said, so.
I set up with that before you started doing.
I don't know. Only reason you might have been right because you have a calculator that might be. What kind of calculator you got? Is it a Casio? What's the name brand of the top of it? Anybody got a Casio in here? Who does? Let me hold your Casio. And in this unit too, you can't use your calculator on the test. Just FYI. Other thing I need to say. Now at this point, you got 19 square root 2 over 2. The last thing I want y'all to look at, it doesn't apply for this problem, but for some of the other ones that y'all will do. Once you get to this point, you got a 19 and then a 2 at the bottom. These two numbers that don't have radical signs on them. Make sure you can't simplify that. Say if that was 18 over 2. Y'all know y'all could divide by 2 on top and bottom right there, right? Yeah, you could even do like 18 divided by 2 and then get 9 square root 2. Y'all see what I'm saying? If that was 18. But it's a 19, so we're done. We can't do anything. 2 doesn't go into 19. Y'all follow me on that? I'm just saying pay attention because there are other problems that we'll do that you can reduce that once we rationalize. Is this a good one? Oh, man, this ain't a good one. I don't know if y'all's going to do it. I need one of them smarter Casios, and I need a scientific one. I think I might have one. Yeah, I got one. So, let me show y'all on the calculator. And this is why I don't let kids use Casios in this unit, because they're not going to let y'all use them on the test either. The Casios, the scientific ones, are the upgraded version ones like this, not the little 4-function ones. They simplify radicals. They even simplify radicals like that have radical signs on the bottom. For example, even in the last unit, I ain't say nothing to y'all, but like, let me see. Say if I did something like square root of 60. it would simplify that radical for me and tell me it's 2 square root 15. Instead of y'all having to break it down for yourselves. That's why I don't like using Casio. It does it already. Same thing with this one we just did. It would have simplified that for us. But I'm showing you where it's correct. So say I did 19 divided by, and then I did square root of 2. What we just did, it's not going to give me that as an answer. It's going to simplify it for me. It's going to show me what the simplified answer should have been, which what we just got, 19 square root 2 over 2. You follow me? I'm just showing you that we are correct in our rationalization. But also, yeah. Huh? Yeah, that's the version. He might have that version. Is your calculator doing that for you already? Yeah. It is? Yeah, that's how he knows the answer. Yeah. But, like I said, he's not going to be able to use his calculator on my test. So I'll make sure I do my calculator check before this test. So you might want to learn how to do it this way too, bro. Okay. Alright, so x and y both equal that. 19 square root 2 over 2. 19 square root 2 over 2. Oh, and even if we had to go back, we would end up getting 19. I don't even know if y'all are interested in that. Maybe I won't tell you. I do it sometimes. Like, nah, I ain't gonna do it to you. I ain't gonna confuse you. I'll let you figure it out when we do something else. Alright, number 4, word problem. I told y'all this unit y'all gonna see a lot. Oh, especially, this whole 9 weeks, but especially this unit. We love word problems here. Grain elevators are conveyor belts used throughout the Midwest to take produce like wheat to the top of a silo for storage. If the angle formed by the ground and the top of the silo is 45 degrees, how long would the belt of grain elevator need to be if the bottom is 50 feet from the base of the silo and is 50 feet high? Alright, a lot of these situations you're going to have to draw out for yourself so you can see it. You ain't got to do no spectacular drawing. I'm not a good drawer at all, but to help you understand what you're thinking about, though, y'all know what a grain silo is, right? Anybody ever seen one? A lot of y'all don't know, but y'all seen a movie that I'm going to mention, and you'll know. Y'all seen that movie, A Quiet Place? When the 2 kids had to hide in that, yeah, that's a silo. That's fine, but everybody doesn't have TV. I said that's fine, man. No judgment. So I'm making my little silo here. It's cylinder shaped. And then they say a belt goes from the ground up to the silos. So that's my belt. And then this is the length from the silo to the belt on the ground right here. And then I'm a label. So they're getting you to create a right triangle, which is my right triangle right here, my right angle, right here. And then they said if the angle formed from the ground to the top of the silo is 45 degrees, so this angle is 45 degrees right here. They said how long would the belt of grain elevator need to be? This belt is right here, so that's why I'm putting my variable x. And then they say if the bottom is 50 feet from the base of the silo, so the bottom of the belt is 50 feet from the base of the silo. This 50 goes down here, and the silo itself is 50 feet high. So the silo is 50 feet right here. Yeah, I know it's all gonna connect, man. Physics and geometry go together, and then especially with levees and stuff like that. So this is a 45, 90. You know, this is a 45 right here. So it's showing you a 45, 45, 90 triangle, obviously. After all that, they want to know what the value of x is. Which side is x in this situation? It's the hypotenuse, right? Alright, how do you find the hypotenuse when given a leg? Say it again. Leg times square root of 2, so x equals what? 50 radical 2. 50 radical 2 feet, I guess. It's an easy problem. You just gotta make sure you label right so you get the right thing. Ain't much work we had to do there at all. Alright, moving on. 45, 45, 90. That's the easy one. Because you're only going back and forth. You only do one or two things. This is the one right here kids have a little bit more trouble with. 30, 60, 90. Because there's 3 different moves you have to do. But I'm going to try to talk slow so y'all can see how to do this. Alright. So in the back, the other special right triangle, we're going to learn 30, 60, 90 triangle. 30, 60, 90 special right. This situation. Obviously, you have 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. If you had that set up in a triangle, you have a 30, 60, 90 special right triangle. That being said, up here at the top, let's read that first, see what it's talking about. It says the shorter leg is always opposite the 30 degrees angle. The longer leg is always opposite the 60 degree angle. I think y'all will be able to tell by now which is the shorter leg, which is the longer leg, which is the hypotenuse. I think y'all will be able to tell that. The thing I want to say before we start, too, everything always goes through the shorter leg. Like anything you want to find, you have to kind of go through the shorter leg to do it. Say you're missing the hypotenuse, you're going to have to use the shorter leg to get there. Say you're missing the longer leg, you're going to have to use the shorter leg to get there. Everything kind of goes through that. That's like kind of your pathway. Everything goes through that shorter leg. And also, they only gave us 3 lines here for finding them. I'm going to add a 4th one in. I'm going to show you another one on top. So on top of these, we're going to put another dot. And I should just edit that in my notes, but I never do. I always make y'all write it in. We're going to write shorter leg again. And we're going to say equals, and we're going to put another line up here. I'm going to give y'all another way to find the shorter leg. My bad. No. They only tell you just going from the longer leg. I'm going to tell you how to get the shorter leg coming from the hypotenuse too. Alright. So shorter leg equals the first way. Oh. And let me highlight this on here so I can show you. This is my shorter leg on my triangle if it's not obvious to y'all. This side right here will be my shorter leg. My shorter leg, I'm trying to find that. And I have the hypotenuse. The shorter leg will equal the hypotenuse divided by 2. Not square root of 2. My bad, I didn't know I wasn't showing you that. Not square root of 2, just a regular 2. The hypotenuse divided by 2. Now, if I'm looking for my shorter leg, and they give me the longer leg, I can come from that direction too. Say I'm looking for the shorter leg, and they give me the longer leg. They don't give me the hypotenuse. They give me the other side. The longer leg, I want to do that longer leg, whatever they give me, divided by square root of 3. So once again, this is the longer leg divided by square root of 3, not square root of 2, square root of 3. Change your mind from the front. That square root of 2 stuff was just for 45, 45, 90. On this one, you're just thinking of the number 2 and then the square root of 3. Alright. And then say I want to find the longer leg. I'm going to highlight that in green. Say I wanted to find my longer leg over here. My longer leg is equal to the shorter leg. Oh, I said shorter. I added a Y on there. I do not know why. Shorter leg. Let me zoom in a little bit. A shorter leg times square root of 3. So whatever my shorter leg is, I'm going to multiply it by square root of 3, and that's going to give me what the longer leg is. And then the last one, if I'm trying to find my hypotenuse, my longest side, my hypotenuse equals the shorter leg times 2. This is why I say everything on this one goes through the shorter leg. No matter what you're trying to find, you're going to have to use the shorter leg at some points. Alright. This one is more so just doing practice and you'll get the flow of it. Alright. So find the value of each missing variable. Some are easier than others because some will come out clean. Some of these we're going to have to rationalize like we did on the last one on the front. It just depends on how stuff ends up when we do it. On this one too, I also use arrows and show y'all what path I'm taking. Some will use the arrows to show you. Alright. On number 5, Emra, question. They give us this side right here, then they want us to find X and Y. Which side is this that they give us with 32 on it? That's the hypotenuse, right? And then they want us to find X and Y. So Emra, we're going from here to X. The side with X on it is which side? Shorter leg, right? Alright, so we want to find our shorter leg. But we got to find the shorter leg, we got to decide what they gave us. Did they give us longer leg or hypotenuse? Okay, so we're using the shorter leg when it says shorter leg equals hypotenuse, right? So shorter leg equals hypotenuse divided by 2. That should be pretty easy for everybody to do. I'm going to take this hypotenuse divided by 2. What is this guy going to give me for my shorter leg, Emma? 16. So X equals 16. So X equals 16. I wrote that down here. And then from there, Emma, we're going from the shorter leg to our longer leg. The longer leg is always what? Equal to what? There's no trick there. Read what it says for longer leg. Longer leg is shorter leg times square root 3. Thank you. So what you gonna tell me my longer leg is? 16 square root 3. Now that's an easy one. They won't all be like that because sometimes, like I said, you're going to have to rationalize and simplify. You'll figure out what you got to do when you get there. For example, number 6. Number 6 probably the toughest one on here. Just because it's a little sloppy. Number 6. Jeremiah, let's go. Jeremiah, they want X and Y. They gave us which side though, with 20 on it? Long leg, okay. So what you gonna find first? Huh? Good. Even though the X is up here, you can't. There's no way to go directly from long leg to hypotenuse. I told you everything goes through the shorter leg. You need to get the shorter leg first. If you don't have the shorter leg, you need to find that anytime you're doing these. And then I'm telling you, because at some point you're going to end up using it anyway. You can't go directly from long leg to hypotenuse. There's nothing that I gave you to take you there. So we got to go shorter leg first, so we got to start for Y first. We're going from the longer leg, so how do I find the short leg given the longer leg, Jeremiah?
Long leg divided by radical 3.
Good. Long leg divided by radical 3. So under here, and I'm going to do it right out here in this open space. I'm going to divide by radical 3. Let me zoom in some. What's my issue, Jeremiah?
The radical can't be on the bottom.
Thank you. The radical cannot be on the bottom of this fraction. So I'm about to multiply by 1, but my 1 is going to look like 1 what this time? Radical 3 over radical 3. Good. Reason I use radical 3 is because I had a radical 3 down here. So radical 3 over radical 3 is my 1 I'm multiplying by. Then that's going to equal 20 square root 3 over square root of 9. And then when I simplify that, on the bottom it's gonna be what?
20
Square. Over 3. The last thing I want y'all to check too is make sure y'all can't divide the two numbers on the outside. Can 3 go into 20? No. So leave that as it is. Alright. So that's going to be my y. So my y is going to be 20 square root 3 over 3. And then I'm going to write that down here. 20 square root 3 over 3. And then we need to do x, Jeremiah. X is the hypotenuse. How do I find the hypotenuse?
You do the short leg times 2.
Good. Short leg times 2. So I'm going to take this short leg right here, and I'm going to multiply it. I guess I can put the 2 in front, yeah. Times 2. What's that going to give it? Times 2 is the same thing. And since this is a fraction, if y'all want to do it, you can write 2 over 1 if you want it. But you're just multiplying times 2. Good. It's going to be 40 radical 3 over 3. Once you times that by 2. And then you still check to see if you can simplify. You can't. So 40 radical 3 over 3. I need to stay on that for a sec. Cool, cool. Moving on. Number 7. Jorge. Number 7. They want me to find x and y. They gave me 9 square root 3. What side did they give me 9 square root 3 on? I'm sorry? No, sir, that is not the hypotenuse. Huh? There's 2 different types of legs in this 3690 triangle. It's the long leg. They gave me the long leg. So what should I find first, x or y? Yeah, x, which is my short leg. How do I find the short leg if I'm given the long leg, Jorge? I'm worried. That's why I called you, because like you was on your phone over there not paying attention. How do I find the short leg when I'm given the long leg? No. Zoe, help him out. Nope. I know you know. I need the people that don't know. Alright, Billy, that's going to be your problem then. Billy, what's up? You divide by square root 3. It says shorter leg equals longer leg divided by square root 3. If you have the longer leg and you're looking for the shorter leg, whatever you're looking for is the first word up here. And that's why I tell you kids have trouble with this part right here. Figure out what you're looking for. You know you're looking for the shorter leg. You just got to figure out which one to use. You need the one with the longer leg because that's what you started with. So if I'm looking for the shorter leg and they give me the longer leg, I want this right here. Shorter leg equals longer leg divided by square root of 3. Not 3. I never told you 3. If you say 3, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Because you're going to end up doing that on your paper too. It's square root of 3. Make sure y'all paying attention over there, man. Especially you, because you like you was on your phone, Jorge. That's a little upsetting to me. When I ask you a question, I expect you to know. Especially when we're going this slow. 9 square root of 3 divided by square root of 3. What you get when you do that, Billy? This is what kids get confused at. Do we need to rationalize this? Why not? Huh? No, that's not why. Yeah, it's just 9, right? You got square root of 3 over square root of 3. What can happen right here? They cancel each other out, don't they? That's 1 right there, right? You just cancel that. And so x equals 9. Y'all need to pay attention to that. Notice the difference between that and then this other problem over here. There's a difference between the way this looks and then the way this looks. So x equals 9. I put it down here already. Then, Billy, we want to find our hypotenuse. Hypotenuse equals? So,
18.
Thank you. Times 2, 18. Alright. Last one I'm going to do with y'all. Well, I lied. I think I might do one on your practice too. You know how it go. Says let's mix it up. All they're doing, they're putting both triangles in one. You got to be able to identify. You know, this feel like a Kahari question. So they want me to find X, Y, and Z on here. You need to understand that top right here, this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The bottom right here, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So based on which triangle I'm in, different rules will apply. Kahari. Let's start with X, because I can find that first. And honestly, I need to find that first. X, because there's really no size they gave me on the 45, 45, 90. Before I even ask you about X, Kahari, let me help y'all all see something. What side? Oh, well, y'all see the side of these two triangles share, right? So, let's talk about this. On the 30, 60, 90 triangle, this side is what? Consider what? The longer leg, right? But on the 45, 45, 90 triangle, it's just considered what? A leg, right? Alright, so depending on which triangle you're looking at, you got to think about it that way. Well, we need to find that first, because that'll help us get into this 45, 45, 90 triangle. Well, not first. We need to get all our stuff on the 30, 60, 90 triangle first, and that'll help us work our way over here. Let me say it correctly. Alright, so let's do that, Kahari. Kahari, on this 30, 60, 90 triangle, before we can get that longer leg, we have to find the short leg, because we can't go straight from hypotenuse to long leg. So, how do we get this short leg on the 30, 60, 90 triangle, Kahari? Hypotenuse divided by 2. So, once you divide 12 by 2, what you got, man? Huh? Yeah, 6. So you got x equals 6. That's a good start. And then from there we're going short leg to long leg. If I got my short leg, how do I get here? I'm looking for the longer leg, man. Longer leg equals. Yeah, we're multiplying that times square root 3. 6 times square root 3. Just say it louder, man.
6 square root 3.
Oh, I was talking to Kahari, but I didn't think you. Okay, that's cool. 6 square root 3. Alright, so that's my longer leg. That's also, once again, my leg on my 45, 45, 90 triangle. Kahari, I'm not done with you. Since the longer leg on the 30, 60, 90 triangle is 6 square root 3. It's also a leg on my 45, 45, 90 triangle. What's y? The next one we need. Good. Y is going to be 6 square root 3 because they are congruent on the 45, 45, 90. So my y is going to be 6 square root 3 as well. And then from there, Kahari, now I'm in the 45, 45, 90 triangle Kahari. If I have my legs, how do I find my hypotenuse in the 45, 45, 90? Yeah. Take this leg. I guess I'll do it here. So I'm going to do 6 square root of 3 times square root of 2. What's that, Kahari? Yeah, 6 square root 6. And then square root of 6, you can't break that down. This is going to be 3 and 2. So it's going to go right back to 6. On that one, you're good. 6 square root 6. Alright. Let me see what else I need to help y'all on. I might stop my video though. Okay, I can do that one with and then we're good. I don't think there's no other one y'all need my help on. Now, I think y'all good. From what I'm looking at, everything else is straightforward. I may do one more with you. I may do number 4. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll do that one. Let me do number 4 with you, then I'm done. Number 4, I'm on practice / homework. Trying to think if I can bother. Jayla, you in here, ain't you? She here?
No.
Oh, she not here? Oh. Lucia. I'm doing number 4. On this one, you should first identify this as a 30, 60, 90 triangle, so you're thinking of those rules. And this is definitely one of those practices that y'all should be using y'all notes on. You should not put those up. So they gave me X, Y, and 6. Which side is 6 on, Lucia? Yeah, it took you a while, but yeah, long leg. Alright. So I'm just identifying what side my number is on. That's on my long leg side. They want me to find Y and X right here, or X and Y. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, you can't go directly to X because X is your hypotenuse. Can't go from long leg to the hypotenuse. You gotta go through the short leg once again. So they gave me my long leg, I wanna find my short leg. Short leg equals what? I'm not asking you actually the value. To find the short leg, what would you have to do? Based on what I told you. I'm helping you out. Short leg equals what? Read your notes. can't even hear you. What does that mean? Vince, help me out. How I'm finding short leg?
Divided by radical 3.
Thank you. Divide the long leg by radical 3. So my long leg here, I'm dividing by square root of 3. That's cool, Vince, but I can't just write this over here 6 divided by radical 3. What do I need to do? Y'all maybe bounce around on some more. I'm just seeing who's been paying attention, that's all. We ain't did that much today. Oh, Rodriguez. No. Mm-mm. So say what you yeah, you're saying pieces. I need the whole thing. What now?
Like, those should be 6 over radical 3, what you already have written, and then multiply that by radical 3 over radical 3.
Yeah, that, yeah.
I don't recall what they're calling that.
Radical 3 over radical 3, that's fine. You just only said radical 3 the first time. Yeah, once again, we're rationalizing. That's what they call it. Going straight across here. I think this is the main reason I want to show y'all this one. 6 square root 3 over square root of 9. Once you do that, and then you're going to get 6 square root of 3. What's square root of 9? 3. We good now? What's the issue? You can reduce this. 6 divided by 3. We can take care of that. What's 6 divided by 3? 2. So I'm going to leave this one as 2 radical 3. So y for me on this one, this is the reason I showed y'all this, and this is why I say you got to take the extra step on. Y for me on this one is going to be 2 radical 3. And then after that, we need to find our x, which is our hypotenuse. Vince, I come back to you. We need the hypotenuse, Vince. How we find the hypotenuse? Shorter leg times 2. So we're going to multiply 2 square root 3 times 2. What's that going to give us, Vince? You're not putting that in the calculator, are you? Okay, what's 2 square root 3 times 2?
That's it. 4 radical 3.
There you go. I'm scared you about to tell me something crazy. 4 radical 3. Don't overthink this. You're going to hurt your head when you do. Alright, so this makes you put the stuff in the right order. They asked for the x first, 4 square root 3, and then y was 2 square root 3. Or radical 3, whichever way y'all want to name it. Alright. That should be good from there. What's up, bro? Yeah. Mm-hmm.